From the heart of Tigerland, in the brand spanking new studio at Punt Road's Emmy Bank Centre, it's time for the show that's captured the imagination of the yellow and black nation. Talking Tigers. Over to you, boys.
Well, hi Tiger fans, and welcome to another edition of Talking Tigers, Richmond's official weekly podcast, where it's been another massive week here at Tigerland, and today we're going to discuss all the major news talking points of the past few days as we look ahead to a season-defining game against the GWS Giants at Spotless Stadium on Saturday. And Greeners and Richo are here. How are we, boys? We all right? We flat? We happy?
I wouldn't say we're over the moon, AC.
No?
Would you? We're trying to get up with a bit of David Soul.
Yeah.
Off the top of the show.
That was Starsky and Hutch.
He was Hutch in Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, right.
That's right.
And he was a singer as well. Not a very good one.
But that was a good song.
No, it's a good song, because Don't Give Up on Us. Yeah, 1976 hit, David Soul.
Yep.
The older brother of Rodney Soul, arsehole.
And a little gag there, a little early gag.
And it's very appropriate, because don't give up on us.
No, exactly.
No,
you never give up on your footy.
Stick fat, you never ever do.
No, you don't.
Absolutely.
So you stop moping around, have you, Tony?
Oh, mate, you know I'm a Tiger forever. You know that.
I
It's
know
an
that.
emotional
Just
week,
hurts
though.
when we get beaten.
It's been an emotional week.
Has been an emotional week.
It was a big day
Certainly
Saturday for the Tommy Hafey tribute before the game. It was outstanding.
It was
Yes.
brilliant.
Good to see how we all put that together. The events team did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they
there
did, absolutely.
in consultation with the family. So that was great. The game obviously not as good,
But the fans turned up as well.
They did.
Tremendous turnout,
which was
57,000.
Which you would expect them to when you're farewelling someone of Tommy's magnitude.
Yeah. So clearly it was a pretty sombre mood, pretty flat after the game with the players, and the family of Tommy Hafey were in the room as well post game. So pretty sad occasion obviously. But then obviously Monday we had the funeral, and that was a great tribute to Tommy Hafey.
And again, the club did a great job in helping organise the funeral and everything. But it was a terrific service, and Tommy's brother Peter, who was runner here and runner at the other clubs that Tommy was involved with, and he spoke right off the top. He had no notes or anything.
Did not have any
no,
notes.
really?
No notes at all.
There you
He
go.
spoke for, I reckon, 45 minutes.
He was amazing.
And he covered, Tommy's life
yeah.
all the way through it. So you got a really good snapshot of his whole life. And then, of course, Kevin Bartlett was outstanding.
KB was just brilliant.
Yeah,
He's
he was.
always a great speaker. But
He is, and the grandkids spoke, and
They
Tommy's
were
daughters,
stars,
daughters, and the
they were
the
absolute
grandchildren were
stars, the
brilliant.
grandkids.
Yeah, all his granddaughter sang,
Oh, that was outstanding.
and what an amazing voice, But and then the youngest grandson, he's got some personality, hasn't he?
Yes,
He's going to do something big,
Yeah,
that
he will.
young boy.
He will.
But the funniest story that one of the grandkids mentioned was when Tommy had turned up, and he'd just gone into high school, the grandson, and Tommy was turning up to pick him up from school, and it was in summer, and Tom was turning up with no top on.
Just the shorts,
Just
pair
the
of shorts.
on, and getting out of the car, and he was getting a bit embarrassed, this kid, and then one of his friends pointed out, hey, your granddad's the only man who can pull that
The
off.
only grandfather
Yeah.
could get anywhere near that.
Oh, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
He's cut like a diamond.
Oh, yeah, he was
yeah.
chiseled out of
You would-
diamond.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
no,
put
it's-
top on, I reckon.
No,
If
absolutely.
you were like that. But yeah, it was a good day, and the family, I think, were appreciative of all the fans that turned up as well, and the lap of honour around the ground, and the former players lined up on the ground as well. So, just a really good occasion.
You mentioned the former players. There
Yeah.
were over 150 former players from Shepparton to Richmond to Geelong
It was extraordinary.
to Collingwood to Sydney.
Yeah.
For that many to turn up was unbelievable, and it was just great to see them all out on the ground. Legends and guys from Shepparton as well.
Oh, it was, and it was good to hear those that the former Richmond players who played under Tommy have said that tradition that Tommy had of before Christmas every year, and they'd go to the London Tavern and he'd just buy them all lunch and be there with them.
Yeah.
They want that tradition will continue, which is good. Yeah.
And KB got a few mentions of Jeep in there, I noticed.
Did he ever? He did it brilliantly.
About 20?
Yeah,
It was spot on though, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Oh yeah. But how good was that? I mean, and KB, he was, it was an incredibly emotional time for him being so close to Tommy. He was quite grief stricken, for the days leading up to that.
Yeah.
And how he was able to put that speech together is just extraordinary.
Yeah, the thing, just for people who didn't know, the thing about Jeep was Jeep gave, Tommy a car to be an ambassador. He did that terrific ad on TV.
Yep.
And KB's point was they just thought Tommy was,
driving to church, as they said.
No, your normal granddad who goes down, picks up the paper in the morning, and that's it. Little did they know Tommy drives thousands of kilometres a week, and they're meant to be getting the car back with 5 or 10,000 k's on it. It's got 300,000 on it.
It was just scrap metal after that, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
very funny.
So there's been a bit of news in the last couple of days. Tony, just before we move on that, must commend you on all your work last week in putting all the tributes together, all the website articles. The website was fantastic. So, and the family recognised that, and obviously Peter.
Well, it wasn't just me, but he did, which was really nice to get that mentioned at the funeral.
While we're at it, Scones and Dale Lazensky, who's come on board.
They did a superb job.
Outstanding, and the family, they wanted it to be an occasion at the end. They wanted to remember it, and clearly. Some of the stuff that you guys have done that the fans would be able to read.
Well done, guys.
No, thank you. Well, it's amazing that Sconner's actually he still managed to have a bit of time to go and watch his horse run.
Oh, how'd it go?
Has got a horse.
How'd it go? He can't answer, but
how'd it go? No. Well, it was a 900 metre at Mount Gambier, right, in the maiden plate. Yeah. And I think it needs something just a little bit shorter than that, actually. But no. He was quite happy with the first up effort. So
apparently, it was just starting to get going after 900. It was just starting to sting towards the line.
What's it called again? What's the name?
Pointer Sister.
Pointer Sister. So keep an eye for Pointer Sister.
Sisters. Doing it for them.
Very good.
There you go.
Good work.
Some big news has come out of Tigerland. I guess we should start with the game, which was the debut of Ben Lennon, who showed a bit, didn't he?
My word, he did.
Yeah.
I thought so. Word. You mentioned, wrote a little story on it this week.
Yeah, look, I just think he came on early, obviously, when Hampson was subbed out of the game. Just after half-time, wasn't it?
Just had an impact straight away, didn't he?
Kicked a goal with his first kick.
Yeah, joined that elite club. Which ironically,
Tommy had
done that on the day. Obviously, we're paying tribute to Tommy.
Looked poised though,
and just on that too, that it was 6 years to the very day, the last time a Richmond player kicked a goal with his first kick in league football, and that was Trent Cotchin against Geelong on May 17, same day, 6 years apart. So anyway,
didn't look out of place, and I think he'll fill a role that I think is an area that we're looking to strengthen, and that's our half forwards guys being able to kick goals and have skill level in your forward 50, and. I think he's going to fill that role for a number of years, but I think he'll end up being a midfielder as well, won't he?
He's got a lot of class and poise, a lot of poise. No problem. He went back for him. It was a really good goal because it was about 45 out.
It was.
On a fairly tight angle, and
drilled
no problem.
Got the boys going too. They had a good patch after that for about 10 minutes. So,
it did.
Good luck to Ben Lennon again this week. You assume he'd be in the side again, wouldn't you?
I think he probably wouldn't be the sub this week either. You'd think he'd probably get a full game.
Yeah, that'd be good for him. The other news that's come out this week is a contract extension for Shane Edwards.
Is that
right?
Good
news, yeah. It's a couple of years, I think, on top of...
Are we breaking news here?
No, it's been out.
Is it?
Out there.
Okay.
It's been out. But, it's good news for Shane.
Any player that can get a contract renewed with time left, it's probably a weight off his mind.
Yeah.
Some players play well when they're under the pump to sign a contract. Some don't. So I think that'll be a weight off Shane's mind, and he'll be looking forward.
Free agent, wasn't he?
Yes.
He'll be looking forward to the second half of the year now.
Absolutely. A couple of big milestones this week as well coming up. Our boy, Brady Delidio.
Our boy.
200.
That's right. TT's own. Brett Delidio.
You couldn't get there any quicker either, could you? Well, really?
He's the quickest in Richmond Football Club history, and he's the youngest player in Richmond Football Club history.
Is that right?
To reach the 200 games. He only missed 8 games in his entire career, and 4 of them were this year.
So KB played how many games, and he got there quicker?
403, and he's got there quicker than...
Was he the quickest, KB?
He had been, and the youngest. He'd been the youngest up till then. So all things being equal, which they aren't necessarily all the time, but you would think he is a fair chance to become only the 4th player in the club's history to get to the 300 mark.
He will play.
Another 100 games.
He will play 300
games. He's only, 27 now?
Yeah. Absolutely, no doubt that he will. So, that's fantastic. And I was lucky enough to play with Brett for 3 or 4 years, I think it was, or maybe even 5. 4, I think it was. Was it?
Would have been
05,
4
06,
years.
07, 08.
4 years, 4 seasons,
And, just came in right from day one. And right from his first game, he looks like he was going to be a 200-game player, and he certainly has done that. And he's been durable. He's been versatile. He's been a little bit maligned as well, and I think he's handled it well, and he always puts his head down and gives his best. So I loved being his mate and his teammate, and well done, Brett Deledio. He's a terrific guy.
Yep. We're
Grown
right for you.
outstandingly well as a leader at this footy club.
has.
So he can't be understated.
It's a great achievement. I think there's only about 20 becomes about the 25th player in the club's history to play 200 games. A very good achievement.
Don't underestimate what's involved in being, durable.
Yeah.
Because there would have been times when he probably should have missed, and he's been able to get out there and keep going. And it's such a draining game, and to do it week after week and hardly miss,
for sure,
is a great effort by Brett.
No doubt.
Good to see him in the side now and getting back to play some really good footy.
I hope he has a ripping game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And Basher Hooler, we shouldn't forget too. 100 games. He's played 73 here, has he?
73 here. Yep.
Yeah,
so
exactly
he's he's obviously become a senior regular here.
Yep.
Where he was in and out of the Essendon side. So and he's finished high up in the best and fairest, and most of the seasons that he's been here too. So.
And he does what perhaps some of the team is lacking at the moment, which is run and create.
He does try and take it on, doesn't he?
He
does.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to need this week.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need players to not go into their shell.
Yep.
Because when you lose confidence, you do go into your shell. You need to have courage to run, and I'll give Basher that. He has courage to run and try and create. So good luck to Basher, and well done on 100 games of AFL footy.
Good stuff. Before we move on, we should just quickly brush over the news of the day, which is Jack Riewoldt in the spotlight again. He had a press conference earlier this week. It was an appearance for MacPac, which is an organisation that helps with junior footy clubs. And 99% of his press conference was outstanding, and then there was one line which I'm sure everyone's already heard.
You only need that 1%.
Only need the
from
one
the media's perspective.
And it's a shame because he was peppered in that press conference, and there was one line there that's created some bit of a stir. But I think Jack himself realised that he was just sort of answering a question and talking. I don't even think he remembers what he said. He was just kind of rambling a bit, and words came out.
Was he trying to be expansive?
Probably.
And give a bit?
Yeah, probably.
If he had his time again, he wouldn't have said it, and I'm sure he's disappointed with it. And you need to move on, though, because you can't dwell on anything at the moment, because it's a game where you have to move on quickly.
Very good point.
And get on with this week's game.
Yeah, spot on. And for the record, Jack is one of the most passionate players about this footy club that you'll ever likely to see.
And that came through in the interview.
Yeah, it did.
That did.
And,
as you said,
and he's on board. He's definitely on board. There's no suggestion that he's at loggerheads with the game plan or the coaches or any of that stuff. He's 100%.
And unfortunately, that's the way it works with the media, because you can answer 20 questions, and the 21st question where you're getting a bit tired and you're maybe not thinking, and you say something.
That's the back page lead.
That's the headline. And unfortunately, people at home and people who read the paper don't get to see the other 20 questions and the footage and everything put into print. So that's the way it is. But
because negativity sells papers and makes the
more
news.
Than ever before, Tone.
More than ever.
More than ever before.
Correct.
Fully aware of that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into the emails of the week. We're going to sack the tweets, seriously.
Are we?
You've got mail.
We never get any good tweets.
Yeah.
I've stopped looking, actually. I just assume there's no good tweets.
Yeah, well, we need to look.
You can't check. How are you going with your Twitter at the moment, mate?
What?
Have I left something off, have I?
Well, pretty big news.
Yeah, fairly big news.
What about poor old
Milesy?
Poor old Milesy gets elevated.
Richo goes and does a brilliant interview, an exclusive for Raw Vision.
Who does his front sheet?
And you've missed him. He's been elevated to the senior list.
He's on our list, Anthony Miles.
Hey, big news at Tigerland this week.
Yes.
Anthony Miles has been elevated to the senior list.
Should we start the show again, dear?
Thoroughly deserved, Tone.
Absolutely. He's been knocking the door down.
Contested ball machine.
Yeah.
He is.
Isn't he?
He is.
He loves the hard stuff.
Yeah, my word, he does.
If I'd have known that, I would have got all the
You're
stats
pretty
ready.
fond of the hard stuff yourself.
What do you mean?
I have a couple of... Oh, sorry.
A couple of sherbets.
The hard
Gee,
stuff.
I had a few after Tommy's...
I have heard. But no, Milesy, terrific news for Milesy.
Yeah.
Is that
He's
it?
been...
All that fanfare for that.
No.
Well done, Milesy.
We've done an interview
Yeah.
on Raw Vision, and if you want to hear
Great
more,
interview.
get onto the website and have a listen to it.
Yeah,
we might even play a bit during this podcast.
We probably will. We'll probably play the whole lot, will we?
Yeah, we will.
Why not?
You do the run sheet, don't you?
And he goes for 14 minutes. How long does it go for?
Hey,
No, not long.
No, it goes through 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're at it, let's just go through a couple of his stats here, because
good.
I've come prepared.
Yeah, good.
30 disposals a game he averages in the VFL.
Yes.
Season high 34 against the Cats a couple of weeks ago. He averages 5 tackles, 6 marks, 14 contested possessions a game. So
If you're 50-50 contested, uncontested, you've got a pretty good balance in your game.
Absolutely.
So well
and
done.
he's only 22, so could be a very good player for a long time here.
Can I do the emails now?
Yeah, get into it.
You've got mail.
Oh, yeah. Second you've got mail.
Scones.
Thanks, Gunnar.
We haven't missed anything else.
Crisp.
have we?
I don't know.
We might be
I'm
flat,
rattled.
but scones is just crisp as
No,
ever.
he's crisp because he's a pro.
He is.
He is.
Pretty horse,
He's
isn't
attracted to pros.
Yeah,
No, other professional people.
that's true.
yeah,
That
of
is
course.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony.
That is true. Jeez, if he was flat before, he's up now. I'll tell you.
He's got himself up. Oh, Tone.
All right, Marion sends us the first email here. There's a few here to get through, but they're all good. Congratulations to the Richmond Football Club for organising the tribute to Tom Hafey on Saturday at the MCG. The crowd stood as one and applauded a great man. It was a minute I'll never forget. Thanks to all the staff at Richmond who worked behind the scenes to make it happen. You made me proud. So thanks,
It's lovely.
Marion.
That's really
It was
Thank
that
you.
minute's applause was a great touch.
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
it?
a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Works really well.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Pretty hard for Craig Willis to talk over the top to tell people it was over, though. That's the only
yeah,
issue.
that's
Couldn't get him.
Couldn't get him.
No.
I heard a voice muffled, but
Yeah.
people just kept clapping. But anyway, it's pretty easy to see when the players run off that it's finished. So, Robbie Leonard sent us an email. He sent us a poem here.
Poem?
Yeah. Bear with me if I try and get this
Yeah.
right. Richo and Tommy, it's called. And it goes like this. Somewhere in a pack of players, Richo grabs the uncontested mark, slews the football somewhat goalwards, hits the point post halfway up.
Oh.
Back at Punt Road, he hears the tiger urchin's cry, catches the glint in Tommy's eye. They raise him up to the light and love him still. Despite it all, they always will. They drape him in yellow and black, sing psalms, pen odes to his guilt glory. Listen as Richo tells his story.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
Yeah, nice little poem.
That's terrific,
Good.
isn't
That's
it?
the first
That's a bit of
poem we've
poetry.
ever had on
Yeah.
Talking
Probably
Tigers,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Apart
yeah.
from Tone's segment, whatever it's
The
called.
boy stood on the burning deck, his pocket full of crackers, and I won't go on with that.
Is that a gag, is it?
It's a poem.
You know what he is at the
It's a
moment?
poem.
He's a little bit of a loose cannon, Tone.
he is.
I'm not
I am
sure
a
what he's going to
loose cannon.
say.
No, I am a loose cannon at the minute.
Hey, I'm looking forward to your gags
There's
later
no
because I just
gags
want to
today.
be. I want to
There's
get up and
no
about.
gags today.
Why not?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. All right. Brad Houston sends us an email. G'day, boys. This is a bit long, but bear with me.
Right.
I, like many others, want to know where we've gone wrong this year. Last season, the media applauded the club's savvy drafting of discarded experienced players, but obviously last year's news is in the bin, wrapped around last week's casserole leftovers. What is he? I played footy up to under 17s with Dimo. Yes, Dimo. The name Dimo came later, apparently.
Oh,
Dimo.
That's a scoop from Brad.
Well,
Yep.
there we go.
His father, Noel, was not only my coach, but also the best coach I've ever played under. I see the same traits in Dimo that are in his father. I can't have Dimo.
No, don't mind it, actually.
Yeah, okay. I know Dimo will be hurting badly. Just watch the press conference. We all are. As a supporter, a paid-up member or not, there isn't a lot we can do. We can't train the guys. We can't choose the team to run out on Saturday. We can't even give the guys a pat on the back when they kick a goal or make a tackle or take a strong mark. It's frustrating. So what can we do? We can bombard social media demanding the coaches sacking or dropping of players. Or we can get behind our team, turn up to the matches and barrack for them, yell for them, scream ourselves hoarse for them. I choose the latter. I love my Tigers, I always have, always will, and that's why I'll be back at the G Saturday week, believing.
Well,
I haven't
no,
lost my faith, and just hope neither has anyone else.
Well, if he hasn't lived David Souls' Don't Give Up on Us, Baby, I don't know who
And
has.
that's why you chose that song, Tony.
Exactly right,
Yes.
Matthew.
Mm.
Exactly right.
Good email, Brad. Thanks for sending that in.
Terrific.
Nathan Jones.
What? Jones?
Oh, look,
Yeah.
we suffered enough at his
Oh,
hands
no.
on Saturday. Didn't
Oh,
we?
look, I admire
What's he
that.
gloating now?
How good is he,
No,
though?
I actually admire that guy,
He's a
Nathan
good player.
Jones.
Of course.
Yeah, very good player and deserves a bit of credit,
Yeah.
Nathan
Yeah.
Jones.
Yep. So, g'day Tigers. I was at the VFL game on the weekend, v Box Hill, and I saw this guy in a suit entering the ground area through the fence while the game was on.
Oh, no.
He was stopped by security, said something to the security guard, then continued to enter through the gate and then stroll around the outside of the boundary line while the game was still going
couldn't be.
towards the ME Bank Centre.
Could it be?
I took a closer look to identify who this person was, and sure enough,
Oh, no.
the chief was on the green stuff
Oh,
again.
He can't be stopped, this man.
He's irrepressible.
Well, the VFL is going on. He's
There's a
wandering on
match
the ground.
on. There's a game for 4 premiership points on the line.
He must be addicted to grass, mustn't he?
Addicted, would you call him?
He must be addicted
Oh.
to grass. He just likes to feel it under his
He
feet.
loves the
and
grass.
Yeah, no.
wander around on it, doesn't he?
He does. Clearly.
Christopher sends us an email. Dear
He hasn't
Richard,
got a
Tony and
surname? Or
AC.
was that his
It's
surname?
very hard to pronounce.
Oh, please. I would have thought
Give
you,
us
of
a go
all
on it.
people, would have been able to get your tongue around that.
It's Christopher Christomo.
No, give it
it's
to me. Give it to
Christostomo.
ju-
Christostomo.
Give it to me. I'll have a go.
Close enough.
Righto.
Close enough.
Christostomo.
Yes.
Righto.
On the weekend, I went to Punt Road to watch
CC.
Richmond play Box Hill. At the game, I was amazed by the transformation of Punt Road had received in the last few years, the ME Bank Centre, of course. When admiring the Jack Dyer stand, I could not help but notice an individual sitting solely on the newly inserted yellow seats. These are out the front of the coaches' boxes there, just been put in. Eager to discover who this captivating person was, I pulled out my binoculars and pointed it in the direction of the introvert. To my amazement, it was the chief.
Oh, jeez.
Resembling the thinker statue with his chin resting on his fist. 10 minutes later, I again took out my binoculars and studied this remarkable species known as the chief. The chief had an acquaintance in the form of a young woman with a notepad. The young lady was writing down the chief's every word as though he was a prosecutor in court. Noticing this, I have come to the assumption that the chief will release a biography for all Tiger supporters to buy for Christmas.
You know those yellow seats. And anyone who comes past or drives down Punt Road, the yellow seats, they just sit out there. And they're like a royal box, aren't they?
It's like
the royal box up there.
It is.
Are you telling me that while he's sitting there on his own,
He's being interviewed.
why can't he just scribble down his own notes? Why does he need someone to write down
He's got his own stenographer.
notes?
He's got a personal stenographer.
Jeez, Chief.
Magnificent. See, your segment's been hijacked now.
No,
Chief
well,
Watch.
I've got a little bit.
Has it?
for
And
Chief
well, the
Watch.
supporters have just,
we
our
need to-
listeners have
the voice of the
taken it
people.
upon themselves
Yeah, spot on.
to provide.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Got a couple more here, just whip through. Reeve McLennan. You try and say in that tone. McLennan.
McLennan.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Hi team, love your work on the podcast. Who would ever have believed that Richo would know more about a part of Richmond history than Tony Greenberg? You're dropping your game tone. This is in reference to
The Windy Hill
the
Brawl.
Windy Hill Brawl. Richo is right about a police horse allegedly injuring a player in the brawl at Windy Hill. I quote from page 19 of the 3AW Book of Footy Records by Atkinson and Hamlin. You familiar with that, Tone?
Yeah, I think that's the book that was given to me.
Right,
last year.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I think that was.
And the quote is, Ron Andrews of Essendon was outed for 6 weeks, despite the testimony of Brian Roberts that he had been kicked by a police horse and not king hit by Andrews. Only Ron and Brian will know if this is actually correct, or if the whale was taking it easy at the tribunal. Perhaps the policeman on the horse can come forward and clear it up.
There you go. So there was
Tone?
a horse on the
Oh,
ground.
I knew there was. I knew that there was a horse's hoof was involved in this.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Well, that's not how you came across
Oh,
it
I
last
mentioned
week.
it last week.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
you
think so,
said
pal.
that you didn't think it was.
No, I
Yeah.
said there was a horse's hoof.
Okay. And the last email comes from Peter Jansen, platinum member here in New York for the rest of the year. Just finished listening to last week's show.
I know Peter Jansen.
Do you?
He used to be, I'm pretty sure, used to be involved with the Melbourne Tourist Authority.
Is that right?
Mm,
Right.
pretty sure.
There you go.
Mm.
Just finished listening to last week's show and love the Tommy tribute. We'll be up at midnight watching the game and hope the AFL Live show the pre-game tribute, which I'm sure they did. Having listened to Talking Tigers from the start, but we'll look forward to it more now that I am in footy-starved New York. Keep up the
thanks.
good work.
That's
Thanks,
great.
Peter.
That's great. I just should mention we got some really good feedback. I got quite a bit of good feedback on last week's show with the
Yeah.
Tommy tribute, which
Oh,
was
good.
really nice. And the other thing that we mentioned about the tribute was that tremendous sign that we've got over the
Yes.
scoreboard here.
Look,
Yes.
Tommy
sensational.
Hafey sign,
It's got to
magnificent.
stay there for the rest of the year.
I'd like
wouldn't
to
it?
think so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would certainly like to think so.
There you go. All right, thanks for all your emails in. Keep those coming. Talking Tigers at richmondfc.com.au. Let's get into the medical room now, and it's we had not many on there last week. There's a few that have fallen down over the weekend. The big one, obviously, David Asprey, who suffered a knee injury. Yeah, it
shocking,
didn't look
isn't
good, did it?
Shocking news.
So
Oh, yeah.
he will. I'm not sure if he's already had the surgery, but there's definitely surgery involved there, and
He has had the surgery.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if he has. Yeah,
He was in hospital. I spoke to him yesterday. Knew
Okay.
he was talking to him, and he put him on the phone, and he was lying in a hospital bed.
Right, yeah,
So
there
I
you go.
assumed he'd had the surgery.
So he's out for an extended period. I'm not sure how long that is yet.
So is it? It's a dislocated
yeah,
kneecap.
dislocated kneecap.
So it's
yeah.
the other knee that he
Yep.
to the one that he did.
Yeah.
previously.
That's just the
It's extraordinary.
worst luck you could
Oh,
ever have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly when he's been playing such good football.
Only
I mean, he's
been-
one of the real shining lights.
Yep.
One of the few that we've had so far
He'd
this
only
season.
been
and
beaten once
Yep.
in those first 8 rounds.
Jonathan Brown. Yeah.
And even
yeah.
then, it wasn't a
No, it
toweling.
wasn't. No. Yeah.
And he's one of the better humans going around.
He's
Dave
an
Asprey.
outstanding bloke.
Yeah, he is. So good luck.
Well, we wish him all the very
with
best.
his recovery
Certainly.
there. I hope to see him back on the field as soon as possible. Trent Cotchin from last week too. Obviously played out the game with an ankle injury, but he's fine. He's ready to go.
He's
Expect him to line up.
He's trained all week, hasn't
Yeah.
he?
So he'll play. Chris Newman is about a month away, 3 to 4 weeks away with that calf injury. Trying to sneak back earlier if he possibly can, but just working his way through that. And we've had 2 broken fingers in the same.
Can you believe that?
Same day.
Oh, no.
One in the VFL, Liam McBean, and obviously Nick Flostone in the AFL. So surgery for both of those guys, and they'll be out for anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks each. Which is disappointing for those guys.
Not good for Liam when you're trying to put weight on, and he's not going to be able to do his weights properly now.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously Jake King is still working his way back from that foot injury. Chris Knight's also still dealing with his knee soreness. So
he's still 5'1" too, Jake King.
Is he?
Yeah, hasn't grown.
What about Newey's mindset? How's he going? You said you caught up with him yesterday.
No, he said it was going well, and he's looking forward to getting back out there, Newey.
Yep.
I think he wants to get out there and help with that leadership. When you're having a tough time, you need all your leaders out there, so he's looking forward to getting back.
Is he eyeing off 250, is he soon? Or how many games does he play?
I think he's 10 away.
10, okay. Yeah. There you go.
I think Dimo's got a milestone coming up.
Has
It's
he?
his
Is
100th game in a week or two,
Is
I
it?
think, as coach.
We get him a cake.
Dimo? Yeah. With happy 100th
I like Dimo better.
I like Dimo. I
Why?
might just use Dimo. Well, that was his original nickname.
Apparently. Yeah.
what
We'll have to go with it then.
I think I'll use it.
All right.
Oh, the Chief. We've just heard about his antics at
There can't be any more.
the VFL on Saturday, wandering on the grass and sitting up in the royal box, getting notes taken by his secretary.
He's stenographer.
He's unbelievable. But anyway, we had a great day on Monday at Tommy's service.
It
over
was
at the
as sad as it
MCG.
was uplifting, wasn't
Sad, but it was
celebration of his
uplifting
li-
the
of a
way
great life.
the grandchildren and Kevin and his brother Peter spoke, and they were just, it was a great celebration. And after the funeral, a lot of people
it? Yeah, I went
stayed
looking
around.
for you because we came back to the club because we.
Yeah,
Where did you go?
No, we stayed over there in the long room.
Oh, yeah.
They had some nibbles on, some finger food, and some beers, and everyone was there. Kevin Sheedy was there, and Peter Moore and all those sort of guys that he'd coached. Greg Williams was
Peter
there.
Dacos.
Peter Dacos was there.
What did he used to say about Dakes?
Oh,
Tell me,
whenever he
Dakes.
brought up Peter Dacos' name, he always said, "Oh, he's a beautiful boy, Peter."
He loved him.
He's a beautiful boy, Peter, and he is a beautiful man.
Yeah.
But anyway, we stayed around and we had a drink, and Ian Stewart was there, the triple Brownlow medalist, and we had a few beers with Stewie, and then some friends of Tommy's family had organised a function room at another venue in the city where people could kick on if they wanted to and celebrate Tommy's life and tell stories about him. So we kicked on, and the Chief came with me. So it was me and the Chief and Peter Moore and Ian Stewart.
Stewie, jeez.
And Jeff Rains was there.
Oh,
and,
you'd have been like a little kid.
Oh, we were. So me and Brendan were pretty excited about this, and we thought, I think we need to hang around. So we did hang around, and we hang around for a fair while.
How long did you hang around for?
Oh, a long time. A long time.
How were you the next day?
Very ordinary.
How was the Chief the next
I've
day?
woken up on Tuesday morning and I could not open my Minstees, right? I had a shocking headache, so I
And
fired...
you couldn't, nor could you say it properly.
I couldn't. What is it?
It's mincies.
I say Minstees.
All right, fair enough. They're
Anyway,
mince pies.
so I fired off an email to you guys, as you would know, just saying
So you
that
crooked
I was
cupboard.
unwell and I wouldn't be able to get
you
to
didn't
work.
explain how
And I got
why you're unwell.
I got emails back from you guys. I hope you're
Quite
all right.
sympathetic,
you
I
know,
didn't like that.
Quite
I knew
sympathetic.
you were blind.
Right. Anyway, I've come in the next day, yesterday, Wednesday, and I'm over standing with Scones at his desk, and Scones is going, "You all right, mate? You feeling better?" And I've gone, "No, I've still got a bit of a sniffle." Just as I said it, the Chief wandered over and goes, "How crook and hungover were you yesterday?" And Scones looked at me and said, "You weren't sick at all, you were just hungover."
Very
So
good.
thank you very much, Chief, for
very good.
not only taking me out and having too many beers with me,
that's
but
great.
then blowing my cover when I had a day off hungover.
Geez, you would have heard some good stories, wouldn't you?
Oh, it was great.
Just the old days?
Yeah, just we didn't say much,
Reminiscing?
myself and Brendan. You just listened to all those old timers telling stories about Tommy.
That's
it was
great.
great.
Yeah.
So,
There you
good day.
Terrific.
Good stuff. All right, I'm not going to spend too long on this because
No.
I think we've had enough time talking about Melbourne's. They lost to Melbourne on the weekend.
Let's just give the votes.
Well, let's just hear from Dimmer. Let's just hear from what he said post-game.
For the occasion and where it leaves your season, how disappointing was that today?
Yeah, incredibly disappointing. It's one from a seasonal point of view, but then after the death of an icon of our footy club, to dish up that kind of performance was really disappointing. And probably the one thing that we're really poor at today was just winning those crucial one-on-one contests. Felt Melbourne were lower and they were harder than us all day. Credit to them, they turned up to play and we didn't.
Jeez, he was flat. First game,
Yeah, flat as I've seen him.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Understandably though.
Yeah, so we'll talk about GWS later, but you'd expect the boys to be nice and fired up this week.
Well, we can go into it, but Dim has summed it up. They came out to play. They were better than us. They won the contested ball, and I reckon their effort and tackle was better as well. So
obviously we didn't help ourselves with our poor conversion, but I don't think that
that's
was
an excuse.
I don't think that was the reason we lost the game.
No.
Yeah.
So let's just see how we respond this week.
It is an excuse, but
Not the main
50
reason,
inside 50s and all that. We're just we're there, but we're not quite there at the moment. So I'm sure the boys downstairs are working as hard as they possibly can to rectify the situation. Votes, we can whip through those as well.
Okay. Well, I gave one vote to Ben Lennon.
Yep.
Only played a half of footy, but for 2 goals and showed a bit of class, I thought I'll give Ben a vote. He was great, and I'm sure he'll start this week, and looking forward to watching him progress for the rest of this season. I gave 2 to Dan Jackson. Just keeps working away, Jacko. You're going to get work ethic and work rate with him.
Yep.
Had 30 touches again. I thought he was pretty good. And I gave 3 to Dustin Martin. I think he's been really good, Dusty. He's developing further as a player. In his 5th year now, and he's much more consistent, I'd say, than he probably has been, although he finished second in the BNF last year. But I thought he had a pretty good day, Dusty.
He did. Yep. Tony?
I gave 1 vote also to Ben Lennon for all the reasons mentioned. It was a breath of fresh air out there, actually, the way he went about it. I gave 2 to Alex Rance. Just thought Rancey tried really hard all day to stem the flow and try and create from the back line as well. So go 2 to him, and 3 to Dustin Martin, again, for all the reasons mentioned. And he never stopped trying to create and take the game on, and I thought he was easily our best player.
Yep. Good call. I gave 1 to Nick Flostone, who I thought, looked at his stats afterwards. He only had 14 touches, but he seemed like he had a lot more of the footy than that. He's composed, he got up the ground, he ran, his tackling, his pressure was good, so thought he had a great game. And I gave 2 to Jackson, and I gave 3 to Martin, who was our best player.
There you go. Well, Dusty takes home 9 votes this week. The leaderboard, Koch is still on 27. Jackson moves up to 17, Rewalt 14, Dave Asprey and Dustin Martin are on 10 each. Unfortunately, Dave won't be able to add to that, but well done on a good, solid year, Dave, and we wish you all the best.
I suppose the one thing it does with Dave, I mean, as terrible as it's going to be, he's out for a long time, but at least he now has confidence knowing that he can perform at the top level and perform really well. I reckon that is a big plus for him.
Doing his rehab, he knows that he can play and knows that he belongs.
Exactly, and I reckon that makes a fair difference to your mindset.
Yeah, fair enough too. Okay, let's
quiz.
Get through the quiz, yep.
Yeah, we asked last week how many grand finals Tommy coached in AC. The answer is 10, and who got that right?
Which included the 2 in 77.
2 in 77.
Yeah.
Oh, Reeve. We read out Reeve's email before.
Yeah.
Reeve McLennan.
Yeah.
That's easy for you to say.
Jeez, I'm no good at that,
No, you're not.
So well done, Reeve.
Yep. Talking Tigers T from the Love Police and Brian Taranto. Thanks for those, BT. The question this week, there's a person involved at the GWS, right, in the coaching staff and in the development area of the club.
Right.
Okay.
Was he in coaching or development?
He does everything.
Does he?
Yeah, he just does everything up there.
Does he cook meals for players too?
Well, he might, yes. He mightn't, but I know that his wife does.
Oh, okay.
So they are a very big part of the GWS Giants.
Yep.
And this man played for Richmond, won a best and fairest at Richmond, left the club at the end of the 1993 season.
Okay.
Who is that?
Right, fair enough.
Okay.
You know who it is, Tone.
Oh, of course I do.
You should.
I supplied the question.
No, you didn't.
No, you did this
I
week.
did, actually.
Yeah, for a rarity.
So Talking Tigers at richmondfc.com.au, you know where you send that through, and you could possibly win yourself a TTT, which are the hottest items going around, aren't they?
Well, they are.
Yeah.
Real cool. I had a member of staff just saying, because, we had the Tommy T-shirt day last week. We proudly wore ours, and had a member of staff said, how can I get my hands on one of those?
There you go.
Good on you.
Who was it?
So
Giuseppe, was it?
We're open to bribes, have we said?
Yeah, good. All right, we've got a little treat now. We're going to listen to Richo, who caught up with our mate Anthony Miles.
The forgotten man, or your forgotten man. Yeah.
No, it's on the run sheet. You can see it there. And his interview with Richo on Raw Vision.
G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision, and we're joined by Anthony Miles, who's just been elevated from the rookie list onto the senior list. And Anthony, that is just exciting news. You must be wrapped.
Yeah, Richo, extremely excited to play or to be elevated onto the senior list at a club like Richmond is a dream come true.
Now, I was watching a bit of Raw Vision yesterday, and the news of getting promoted onto the list, Dimmer let you know out on the track. Can you tell us the story behind that?
Yeah, so at the start of training, everyone put in $10 and we thought we'd have a goal kicking comp at the end of training. It was my turn to kick, and Dimmer said just before Milesy kicks, we've decided today to elevate him. So yeah, it was good, and then all the boys got around me, and obviously afterwards I had to kick the goal, which was pretty nerve-wracking, but it went through luckily.
You put it through?
Put it through, yeah, snuck it in.
It's very good news. Now, there was elevations in the pre-season. Matty Thomas came onto the list, and I guess around that time there was talk that you may have also. So you've had to wait an extra couple of months now. How's that time been?
Yeah, it's been good to develop my game in the VFL, and through the coaches I feel I've been able to improve as the season's gone on, and Matty came in and had an immediate impact and was playing some really good footy. So yeah, I had to wait my turn, but hopefully I can get my opportunity soon.
You had to put your head down in the VFL, and you've played some really good football. What was your focus over the first few months of the season?
It was probably to win the contested footy and win clearances, and then from that I probably had to develop a bit of my defensive side of things, and I'm still working on that. My spread from stoppage and my skill efficiency and skills by foot was something that I've been working on as well.
Contested footy, though, it's a good strength to have, and is that something you really hang your hat on with your game?
I think so, Richard. Yeah, it's probably something that I'd like to pride myself on is being able to win more one-on-one contests than what I lose.
Is that what you will bring to the AFL? Is that something that you see you can add to the side?
I'd like to hope so. We've probably been struggling a little bit in clearances and contested possessions last week, but it's probably been a strength of ours over the last couple of years from what I've heard. So, as you said, Matty Thomas brought that early in the year, and if I get a chance, I'd like to be able to do the same.
Well, if you do get the chance this week, it is against your old side, GWS. I'm putting my money on it that you will play, but it's not official yet. But how exciting will that be, the chance to go up and play against your old side?
It'd be massively exciting, as you said, against the old side. I've still got some good mates up there, but as you know, Richo, when you cross the white line, it's on for young and old. But yeah, it'd be a massive opportunity to play against the Giants.
Who do you expect, that you may match up on if you do play against GWS, and will you cop a bit of flack from your old mates?
I don't think so. I'd like to line up on their skipper, Callum Ward. He was probably pretty good to me when I was up there, and I'd love to play on Cal.
Now, you've been here a few months now. What's your relationship like with the coaches here, Dimmer and the rest of the boys?
Yeah, they've been awesome to me, I suppose. The biggest thing for me was coming in as a rookie was the belief that all the coaches have shown, and Dimmer and his assistants and even the development coaches have been fantastic as well.
Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck if you do play this week, and well done.
Thanks, Richo. Cheers.
Geez, you're everywhere, aren't you,
Yeah,
Matthew?
well, you are. Yeah, another exclusive. Yeah, very good.
Let's hope that he plays this week. It's not a certainty
No.
whether he'll play.
Yeah.
But if he does, good luck.
Did he have to get... Is that right that we...
I think you had to elevate him.
By AFL rules
time.
or something,
Yeah,
that
not
there's
sure.
a ruling that you could promote this week, a rookie or something?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not sure
We
of the
need to
dates,
check
but
it
Find out the
Yeah.
facts before
not
you
to say
go.
that he
with
wasn't
something.
Oh, well.
deserving of being
No, but
elevated.
that you
Yeah.
could promote someone,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
why we did.
He'll get his chance. If it's not this week, he'll...
I'm sure,
have
because
a
you'll just
crack
keep knocking the door down.
Absolutely.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I was mad on Monday morning.
Oof,
Yeah.
you were filthy.
Oh,
I was,
yeah, you were.
No,
too.
I was really mad.
You were irate.
because
Yeah.
I don't like being misrepresented,
Yes.
and I don't like being paraphrased. Is that what you say, AC?
Yes.
Paraphrased, yes.
And that's what I was in the Herald Sun Monday morning. I don't want to make it about me, but I felt pretty bad because my name was put on a headline that had the word duds in it, referring to footballers as duds.
You would
And
never
I won't
say
go into it, but all I will say is I would never ever call anyone playing AFL footy a dud
Yep.
in print or on the radio or on TV. I just wouldn't say it. So to then have my name put on a headline with the word duds referring to Richmond players,
Yep.
I was ropeable about that. And I spoke to the
You gave him a
Herald
piece of
Sun,
your mind?
and I did, and they stood by it. They said it represented what I said. Well, it didn't. And if you read through what I said, it didn't represent what I said properly. It didn't represent it at all. And I've just about had enough of some of the headlines they've been creating this year, the Herald Sun.
A bit British tabloid-like, isn't it?
I think so, Tony. So I just wanted to set that straight.
Good.
It's not like them to be overly negative, is it, Tone? You've been in the industry a long time.
Oh, I have. Too long, I think. Too long.
You've got
It never happened back in the old days of the Sporting Globe.
You got a lot of baggage, Tone.
Never happened at the Globe.
No?
What about the Argus?
No, we were pros at the
Inside
Argus.
football?
No, we'd never have. Or we might have put a couple of things in the mix master there. Probably on a weekly basis, actually.
What about 3DB?
No, we were very good at 3DB.
Yeah, okay. So nothing you've been involved in.
What about? I was off me 3KZ the other night.
You were off your 3KZ.
Did you work there?
Yeah, 3KZ. 3KZ is football. No, I didn't work there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't.
My contract at 3DB didn't allow it. I worked for 3LO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
So
not
did
about
Tommy.
me anyway.
So did
it's
Tommy.
not.
He worked at 3
He did indeed.
Of course, we don't accept the excessive drinking of alcohol here at Talking Tigers.
No, kiddies.
In moderation, please.
It wasn't my fault. It was the Chiefs.
What, he forced it down your gullet, did he?
Just about.
How was he? Was he dusty the next day or not?
I don't know.
He just
I can't
pulls right
comment
up.
for the Chief.
I don't think he was here, was he? No, he was. Because he's a professional.
Yes.
He would have turned up.
I couldn't
Unlike
turn up.
you.
No. Little sneaky email just to say you're not coming in because I'm sick.
That took every ounce of energy that I had to get
Gee,
out of
we
bed.
felt sorry for you too. We really did.
I couldn't
But
find
geez,
my
the
phone.
Big
so I had
fella's,
to-
crook, and
Yeah.
he's just been doing it hard. He's
Yeah.
had,
Mate, that 10 metres from the bedroom to get my laptop to send that email, that took every ounce of courage that I had.
oh, you were digging deep, weren't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. All right, let's get into the preview of GWS this week. I don't think it can be understated how big this game is for Richmond for a number of
No.
reasons. One, to get the season back on track, and two, just to ease some of the pressure that's around this week. And it's not going to be an easy task in a GWS side that's getting back some key players.
You know what? I think all that comes down to this week is just contested football
Contested footy.
and effort,
Yeah.
because I think they will make it a one-on-one game.
Yep.
I think that's what you need to expect, and I think all we need to think about in every player is contested football.
You know, this is their first time back at home for
Is
6 weeks. They won their first two at home.
All right.
And they've been in Canberra since and obviously
right.
on the road. So first time back at home and they get a few back. So, yeah, it's interesting. We've obviously played them twice. The first year, I think we just fell over the line by about a goal or something in the
Yeah,
wet.
that's
Wet.
right,
And last year we won by about 20 goals. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
it'll
so
be interesting.
key to that contested battle is, of course, Shane Mumford, who returns to the side. I think he's playing his first game since round 3 or 4.
Yeah,
isn't
he was
Yeah.
all Australian at that point. He was
He was.
on fire, the big
Yeah.
mummy.
And Dimmer actually addressed that in his press conference today.
Probably a hope that Mumford just stayed out for one more week.
Yeah, he's an incredible player. It's amazing the difference in drop-off in clearances. He only played the first 3 rounds. Their clearances were, I think, AFL number 1. Then over the next 5 rounds, I went to AFL 18. So, if someone can manage to kick him in the back of the calf or something on the way down, that'd be great. He's a very good player. It's amazing how a certain player can bring a quality of play to a team, and he certainly does that.
Yeah, so big job for the midfielders, and obviously Sean Hampson and Ty Vickery, all the rucks on the weekend. Also, Jeremy Cameron's back, and Trelaw's back, and I think Hampton back in defence too. So GWS strengthened, but the boys will be confident going over there and getting the 4 points.
Yeah, you go up there with the last time you went there knowing you had a good win, and I think the mindset they'll be switched on.
Well, it's been a big week. It's been we've been right under the blowtorch all week, and
I've
we need
no
to
doubt
respond.
they'll be switched on, and if they are, and you win the contested footy, you win the game, because we simply are a better team than them at this stage of their development.
Yeah, and we do like going into state too. Boys have had some good form in the last year and a bit in terms of on the road, so there'll be no fears in terms of getting on that plane for the boys. In fact, they'll probably be looking forward to it, I would have thought. So that is a 140 game, I think.
Yeah, it's 140.
Saturday. Yeah,
24
Saturday.
degrees up there on Saturday too.
Really?
Be a nice day for football.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's get into a bit of a VFL update. The boys played Box Hill, who were
The reigning premiers.
Yeah, undefeated. They had one draw and the rest were wins coming into the game, and it was looking good early. The boys had a 2-goal lead at quarter time. That was turned into 20-point deficit by halftime, and then Box Hill controlled the game from there. Ended up getting home by 29 points. We mentioned Anthony Miles before. He had 31 touches and 6 clearances, so he had another great game. Matt Thomas also, he missed a couple of weeks with his knee injury, but he's come back pretty strong. VFL had 31 touches.
He may play, I think, this week.
Yeah, he'd be in the frame.
Well, you're talking about consistent footy.
Yeah.
He's pretty big on that.
7 tackles, 10 clearances for him on the weekend as well. Had a great game. Ricky Pettit continues to get big numbers at VFL level since he lost his spot in the senior side. 28 touches for him on the weekend, 7 inside 50s. So playing all over the ground and doing a great job there. Matt D is a player that we hopefully will see in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
27 disposals as a halfback, so he's in some rare form.
I was up his way a few weeks ago, up in
Where's that?
Mildura.
Oh, yeah.
Had a few people asking me about Matty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good fella, Matty.
Got a lot
too.
of fans up there, Matty.
Yeah,
It's
no,
his
he's
hometown.
He's coming along all right.
He is. The other one is Aaron Edwards, who had 26 touches. For a man of his size, he gets around the ground really well. He's a level above VFL level. And
Plucked 12 from the sky too.
12
marks.
grabs. Yep.
Pluck 12 from the sky.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting
You
it.
like it, don't you?
I like it. That's
You
a
like
bit
that?
different.
Yeah.
Can you use that? I want you to use that over the weekend in your commentary or something.
All right, I will.
Pluck 12 from the sky.
Kicked 2 majors too, Aaron Edwards.
Majors?
2 majors.
okay.
Yeah, you're learning a bit today, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I know what majors are, mate. Yeah, I've been around a while.
Yeah, okay. Some big numbers for Brad Helbig, 22 touches. O'Hanlon had 20. Ben Daru, 19 as a defender, and a little Lukey Conker.
Lukey
One of
Conker.
our VFL listed players led the goal kicking with 3.
Yeah,
so
no, I saw him kick a couple of those. Watch the first half. Atmosphere, unbelievable.
yeah, how good is it?
Absolutely fantastic.
Was it
They actually
lockout?
they had to shut the gates.
It's a real winner, isn't
It's
it?
brilliant.
Having it
It
at
really
Punt
is.
Road.
Great atmosphere.
And this weekend, the VFL side plays Werribee. That's at Avalon Airport Oval. It's the ABC game, so 1:10 p.m. Saturday,
Clashes
which
with
clashes
our game.
with the AFL game.
Yeah. Oh, you watch the first quarter, I suppose.
Yeah.
You can flick back and forth.
And then at half time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might be able to see Biggie Varn again running
Biggie
around,
Varn, yeah.
just getting himself ready for.
So he got through all right, didn't he?
Got through well, played 3 quarters and pulled up well. Said he felt good during the game, so looking forward to having him back hopefully next week, and if not the week after. So definitely we'll play VFL again this week.
This week, yeah.
Some news around the club, and this is generally focused on the Dreamtime game, which is next week. The Dreamtime membership is out. Basically, it allows you a reserve seat to Dreamtime at the G, which is around 11. You also get access to 3 home games as well, and a commemorative pin, which is exclusive to the Dreamtime membership. The Dreamtime Guernsey is out as well. That was released yesterday. It's the 10-year anniversary of the Dreamtime game, and this Guernsey, which we've done for 4 or 5 years.
Geez, it looks
We were
good.
the first club to do it, and every club has one now, but we were the first, designed by Gippsland artist Mick Harding, and there's a good video on Raw Vision too, which
Yeah, Sconnors has done a great job with
great
that
job
video.
with that. It's the recognised theme this year, so his design is a shield representing the fight of the men and women of generations past. There's a limited number of these Guernseys available at the Tigerland Superstore from today.
How many
so you
are
can
available?
jump on there. Not sure, mate.
Okay.
Limited number.
Well,
That's
that could
what
be
I just
3
said.
or 300.
Well, I don't know, mate.
Okay, right.
That's why I said limited.
Fair enough.
Proceeds, of course, go to the Corin Gamage Institute, which is on level 3 here at the ME Bank Centre, to develop the next generation of Indigenous leaders. So get in there, grab your jumper, and it'll go towards the programming up there.
Well done, AC.
Yeah,
And
good work.
just on the Dreamtime, every team is wearing a
Yes.
Dreamtime Guernsey this year.
They
so, so
Dreamtime.
that's good. It's really developed. the whole-
Dreamtime at the G, that's just taken off, hasn't it? That's
Yes, it has.
just
It's a
the whole
marquee
thing.
game now.
No, not just the actual terminology,
Yeah.
the name.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Who
we'll
came
talk
up with
about that next
Did you know
week.
that Green
We'll
has
talk
come up with
about
the
that
whole
next week.
concept
I
of
did
the
not
Dreamtime?
know. Let's get on to this
Kevin
next
Sheedy
week when the
did.
game's on. We'll
Yeah.
talk
All right,
about it.
okay.
I'll clarify it.
All right.
Again.
Hey, don't forget Superboot.
Superboots up.
Superboot.
You were just
How-
going to go past that.
Yeah,
I
come
was
on.
waiting
you
for
can't
your
forget
segment, mate.
I've got it here,
It. How
mate.
did you go this week?
I went all right.
What does that mean?
Well, just let me read it. It was the second bye round last week.
Yeah, that
Buddy
might-
Franklin led the way in the AFL with 5 goals. 17% of Superbooters chose
Is that what they're called? A collection
Superbooters.
of Superbooters.
17%.
collective noun for super.
Superbooters.
Superbooters.
Righto.
17% chose Buddy Franklin. So on the leaderboard now, M. Endley has 52
Mary.
goals. Okay.
Yeah.
C. Foster and J. Johnson. That's
Cynthia.
Jason Johnson.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
That's the Jason Johnson.
There we
They're
go.
on 51 goals.
Yeah.
And El Dimartino, our old friend El.
Lorenzo.
No.
Oh,
I think we worked out it was Len, wasn't it?
Len
Di-
Dimartino.
Why have we worked that out?
I don't know.
Was I here that week?
50 goals for Lenny Boy. Good on you, Dimmer. Okay, so remember to log on and register for round 10 tone at www.thesuperboot.com.au and follow us on Twitter at
Give me a tip. Who
thesuperboot.
should I go with this week?
You know who I'd go with this week?
Who?
I just would be going with the man over there at Port Adelaide.
Scones.
No, I'd be going. I've just got a feeling Jay Schultz might kick 6.
Schultz.
I think he'll kick 6 because
I
Josh Gibson.
reckon you know nothing.
No, listen to my reasoning.
Yeah, go on.
He'll kick a few because Josh Gibson has done his pectoral muscle.
He has.
And
Pectoral or
Schultzy-
pectoral?
Pectoral.
What is it?
I think it might be pectoral.
Pectoral.
Well, it could be Saudi or Saudi as well.
Yeah,
I
right.
say it
I'd
that
be a
way.
bit sore. I know that.
Schultzy, I'd get on Schultzy. So
Righto.
get on to Superboot. We love it.
Yeah, well, you picked Nick Rewhite last week. He only kicked 2, so I'm not sure I should be
Rui, let
taking
me
your
down,
advice.
Rui.
Yeah, he did.
You're not going very well, are you?
No, I'm going
He's
terrible.
got a big buddy. Kicked 5 against the
know.
Bombers.
I
You know, he's
Yeah.
good against them.
I should have picked him.
Gary Ablett and Brandon Matera in the game against St Kilda.
Even Ben Lennon
4
wouldn't have
each.
been stupid.
Yeah, okay. Well, just a long way to
Just
go.
said
in
Debutants
Superboot.
have had a good record first up, haven't they? With leading goal kicker.
It's a long
Yeah.
year, boys.
Well, Sam
What,
Lloyd,
Lloyd,
his first
yeah.
game was our leading goal kicker, and
Yeah.
Ben Lennon.
It's a long year.
Equal
It's a
leading
long
goal
year.
And this is
kicker. It is a long year.
And this next one's a long segment.
Oh,
Make it quick, Tone.
nah, it's a good one today. Jeez, my minces are
Because you
playing
printed
up
it
a
out
bit
too.
No, they're playing up. It's a good one because remember last week we had well, you do because you tried to show me up with your knowledge of the Windy Hill
Did
Brawl.
too, the horse on the
horses,
ground.
hoofs
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
But Rex Hunt played in that game.
Yeah,
Was his last game for Richmond because the following week
yeah,
he was swapped or traded
yeah.
to Geelong.
Was he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Went to Geelong. Now, he policeman at the
For Gareth
time.
Andrews.
For Gareth Andrews. Now, Rex apparently during that season had sort of, I think he might have actually handed in a letter of resignation because he felt he wasn't getting a fair go. It was obviously, with Royce down there, a lot of forward talent and everything. And
Yeah.
anyway, he battled on for a few weeks, but then suddenly Richmond realised, well, we had a chance to get Gareth Andrews. Let's make the swap.
Yeah.
So Rex was swapped. I think it was early the following week. So it was his last game was the Windy Hill Brawl, and Gareth Andrews had played for Geelong on the Saturday of the Windy Hill Brawl, May 18.
Yeah.
He'd played North Melbourne down at then Cardinia Park. Incredibly, his first game for Richmond the following Saturday was against North Melbourne.
Is that
He
right?
played North Melbourne 2 weeks in a row.
Gareth Andrews.
Gareth
did.
Andrews, as he obviously swapped over,
Yeah,
played
there
2
you
weeks
go.
in a row against the same team.
That's a good.
So
little,
Rex went on. Rex had 10 marks in his first game for Geelong.
Yeah.
Was one of their best. He actually went on and finished equal 5th in the Brownlow. Rex for
Did he?
Geelong in 74. Played really, really well.
How many
Ended
goals
up.
did he kick
Well,
for the year?
oh, well, I thought you'd know, being the historian.
Oh, well,
Tell me. Yeah. Anyway, he played really well. He ended up becoming vice captain at Geelong. Played a few seasons there. Ended up at St Kilda and went okay there. But always regretted the fact that he actually left Richmond.
Missed the flag.
Yeah, he missed the flag because
Yeah.
Gareth went on, was a member of the Premiership side in 74, played in the back pocket. He's always said to Gareth, "You've got my third," because he played in
Oh,
two
yeah.
Premierships.
Yeah.
You've got my third Premiership
Yeah.
medallion,
Yeah.
So, it
you
was
go.
amazing because you could do that back then. You could obviously trade during the season. So,
bad move
everything.
for Rex.
yeah,
But a good
he
move
said he
for
always
Gareth.
regretted it. Yeah, but
Still had a couple though.
yeah, he did. Yeah. But Gareth had played against Richmond in the '67 grand final for Geelong.
He,
But there you go.
Shows just a bit of anger in his voice
Yeah,
there.
well, fair enough.
Yeah, well, people who sort
Yeah.
of I understand that he missed out on one, but
Yeah.
he's still got a couple.
Yeah, well, that's right. Don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah, I heard Tom Harley whinging the other day about the 2008 grand final.
The one that got away.
And I'm like,
Did
give
your
us
heart bleed for him?
I'm like, Tommy, give us a spell, mate. Go and check
Yeah.
the trophy cabinet.
Yeah, I know. Now, listen, there are no gags, all right? Now, I'm saying this.
Oh.
I'm saying this because...
You better have a good reason.
There is a good reason, okay? There has to be a positive come out of a Richmond loss for
Yeah.
our listeners.
Right.
And that's it. No gags till we win a game.
It's actually
That's a positive.
that's a good point.
People need to get up, mate.
No. It's
They
a
wait
positive.
for
I'm
your
not
gags all
inflicting the
week.
gags on them until
Just give
such
us
time
one.
of
One
no.
gag.
No.
Come on.
You give us a gag.
Oh well, forget it then. I don't care anyway. They're hopeless.
How am I supposed to get through the next couple of days without your gags?
I'll tell you a couple of blue
All
ones.
right. Yeah, okay.
that
Deal.
right?
Deal. All right, that's all we've got time for then. TalkingTigers@richmondfc.com.au is our email address. Hashtag Talking
Dulcet
Tigers on
tones.
Twitter. And get behind the Tigers. They play the GWS this Saturday. It's a Fox footy game.
Don't give up on us,
Get around
baby.
it.
Hey, the Chief was late for work too, Tuesday.
We can still come through.